I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Morning all.
Morning.
Call the meeting to order. We have an amended agenda, right?
Yes. I added, discussion possible action on authorizing recorder to advertise for the clerk position. Okay,
Okay. With that addition,
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda with this addition.
Second.
we have a motion, a second and third.
but
Any more discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Minutes from the 17th.
Make a motion to approve the minutes. Real second.
Motion and second for the minutes. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carried. We have claims this morning.
Got drainage of 2,048.90 and general of 669,483.81.
I'll second that.
All right. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed, same sign. Claims are approved. All right, we have general public concern. Anyone? Moving along, Cole.
You understand or sit up there to hear?
What do you,
What do you-
that way they can hear you. We
We
know who you are, but please state your name.
I'm Cole Anderson.
Thank you.
I'm here to talk to you guys about a rock pile. We call it the West Quarry. It's where our scale is currently sitting. And when we first blasted, we were crushing there and then things happened, so we had to change our route. Anyways, where the scale is decommissioned, it's getting ready to get moved. It was decommissioned on Thursday. And we have probably a 5,000 ton pile of rock sitting there, of shot rock. And I'm just asking if we can crush that. We're not gonna blast, we're not gonna do anything, but in order to get the scale into the west end, where we're gonna put the scale, I have kind of copies of our plan for the scale. If you guys wanna look at those. Or we're gonna move it to the west end of. It will come off of Georgia Avenue. And we just want to crush that pile of rock. Over here on the, show you this one too. This is the existing quarry along Iowa Avenue and 205th, where our scale is currently sitting. The pile of rock that we want to crush is just to the west of the scale house on there, you can see. And we're gonna have Sadler Construction from Eagle Grove just come in, and they'll be there for hopefully less than a week. And just so we can get some rock, so we can get our scale into the west end and get our crusher to the crushing area, you could say, on the west end. With rain and weather events, it'd be nice to have a little bit of rock.
What hours do you plan on running, crushing?
We use these guys in Cherokee this summer for crushing up a road, and they ran from like 9 to 4. And
Okay.
I mean, we aren't gonna run 8 hours. It's just a couple thousand tons. So I'm guessing we should be done in less than a week, but if nothing breaks or something like that. But instead of buying rock, it would be nice just to use our own and get rid of the eyesore.
So it'll be crushed, moved down to the west, used as driveway material for your where your scale is being moved down to,
Yep, cause they're gonna hopefully start pouring the scale foundation in a week to 2 weeks. So we can get concrete trucks in there and just all the traffic and everything that's gonna be involved in doing it. We're not gonna sell it, it's just for our own use.
all right? What's your thoughts?
I see no problem with it.
I don't either. Do we need a motion on that? Do we need to make a motion on that? Bruce? I'll make a motion to have you go ahead and get that rock crushed out, get it moved out, right there.
I'll second it.
Yeah, I mean, it might take. I mean, as long as nothing breaks, it should be less than a week, but I mean, I just don't want you to hold me to a week.
No, that's fine, that's fine. We understand that you have breakdowns of things happen.
All right,
Not a problem.
we have a motion and a second, all in favor?
I
Opposed, same sign, motion carries.
thank you for calling us and coming here to let us know what's going on.
Yep, I just want to be as transparent as I can, so. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, Paul.
Yep.
Mr. Lee, are you ready?
No. Kind of scramble this morning.
Well, Mondays are made for scrambling.
Yeah, seems that way. I give you that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
So on the agenda today, we're looking at possibly approving a resolution of support for a grant application. We've talked about this, well, it's for the Prairie Rivers to Three Rivers Trail connection. Basically Badger straight south or north to the Three Rivers Trail. We've talked about this several times. I guess before we get into the resolution too much, want to maybe give you some updates as far as grant funding that's available. In 2024, we applied for and received a $750,000 regional TAP grant. About a month ago, my friend Ben Lotz reached out to me and reminded me that there's another million-ish available through that regional TAP funding. So I met with Matt Cosgrove and Stacy Lynch, who is the Midas lady. I don't know if you're familiar with her.
Yeah.
She confirmed that there's $1 million available. So Matt and I plan on applying for that, which is the resolution that you have in front of you. During that conversation, Stacy let us know about a statewide TAP grant application. That's something relatively new. There's $5 million in that pot of money. That grant is geared towards connecting larger projects that connect existing trails. So she said our project would score very, very well. She said you could probably ask for 3 to 4 million would be a reasonable ask. So I guess that sheet that I gave you has a bunch of potential funding sources. I talked to Matt and Stacy about what is a reasonable expectation as far as Humboldt's local match. They thought $250 to $300,000 would be a good ballpark estimate of what our contribution would have to be. So that is a lot of money, but when you really look at it and do the math, it's a $5 million project that you're kicking in $250,000 for. That's getting 95% of it paid for by somebody else.
Well, shouldn't say somebody else, taxpayer money.
which, again, Rick,
But the thing
yeah.
is, that money's gonna go to some trail somewhere. It's gonna get spent. And I think it's a good opportunity to put our name in the hat, like we've done with other things.
I'm just afraid that if we don't, this will never happen again.
I will say. If you're ever gonna do it, it's not gonna get better than it is right now. You're not like getting 94% of that project paid for through grant funding. That's a good deal. Like you won't see anything better, at least during my time here, I don't think anyway. So, and again, it's a lot of money. It's a big project. If you guys aren't for it, don't wanna pursue it, that's fine too, but I
But it is,
kinda need to know one way or the other.
yeah, we either gotta be behind you or against you.
Yep, it's time.
Yeah, to make a decision.
What's the time frame on the financial obligations? Is it a 10-year, 20-year? When do you need the money and how much of it at what time?
2029 is when we would construct it. The curveball, Mike, is like the right of way stuff. We need to get going on that as soon as possible to get that route established so that you can include that hard route in your grant applications. You can't apply for millions of dollars and, well, I think I might be able to go down C-48 or whatever the road is.
That's one of the stipulations of the grant, you gotta have a route.
Yep,
Except for the state grant.
local, you might be able to get by with the
Locally, you can probably.
maybe this, that, or the other, but once you get to that state level, you better have your ducks in a row. It can't be, I think, or maybe, or possibly
So you start construction in 2029
2029, so you're about 3 years out, if that answers your question.
and you have to have the full sum by then. That's what I'm asking.
Yes,
So we're looking at 81,000 and 250,000 and $100,000 a year that we're going to assess to our budget.
If we paid for it all, if there wasn't any community money put in.
some of this at the bottom, Mike, are different ideas.
Okay.
Basically, oh gosh, and I didn't do a very good job of organizing this list, so I apologize. But anything below federal recreational trail grant, that's all ideas on how we can come up with that local match. So like REAP, I don't know if you're familiar with REAP. Humboldt County gets a check every year that the state does REAP. We average about 10,000 a year-ish. There's 20,000 in that account right now. By 2029, you'd have 50 grand. So there's 50 grand. Community Foundation, they've done bigger projects where they do a 3-year commitment. And I think they did it for the high school auditorium remodel. There's been a couple different projects where I feel pretty confident that they would support this project.
I would think so.
I mean, there would be, I just threw a number out there, 45,000, 3-year commitment at 15,000 a year. I guess we're gonna talk about the revenue sharing thing here in a minute. You could put some of that money towards your local match. The NACA, this is kind of a funny situation, but we bought a piece of property over by Renwick. Paid for through grant funds. Part of those funds were a NACA grant, which is North American Wetland Conservation Act grant. It's a federal program. We bought and paid for that piece of property 2 years ago. The county's floated that $100,000. We have not gotten reimbursed from that federal grant yet. I just talked to the lady at the state level that administers this, and she said, the money is coming, you just have to be patient. As another idea, what if you took that 100,000 when it came and just pivoted it around to pay for another project that's paid for with grants? And again, I'm just throwing ideas at you. But it just seems like there is a realistic path to making this happen without without it becoming a huge burden on the general fund budget.
But nothing's in concrete. This is all.
No, and again, it's all competitive, Mike.
Yep.
I need to emphasize that and thank you for pointing that out. All these grants are competitive. I cannot guarantee you that we're gonna apply for the state TAP grant and we're gonna get 4 million, or we're gonna get 3 million. So,
The REIT money, would that, when in fact you stamp that so that we could guarantee that that'd be there then?
as long as the state legislature continues with that REAP program, which it's last 26 years, they've done it every year. Danny, I don't see that changing. I hope it doesn't change. I think pretty much set in stone, you could bank on that money.
And your tab one would be guaranteed too.
Yes,
The resolution that you're talking about through Midas, that would guarantee revenue.
I think Hamilton County is gonna throw an application in now, kind of a last second type thing. Because I think they heard the same whispers that there's that money available.
Are you I guess we've talked about it one time about splitting, the profits of camping with you guys at one time.
Yep.
Would that be money we could earmark for this and it would cost the taxpayers absolutely nothing?
Yep, and that's on the list in front of you.
Yeah.
HCCB revenue sharing, if you earmarked the next 3 years of that. It would, at least at that point, the people that are using your facilities,
Exactly.
trails, parks, whatever, are paying for these improvements.
That's
It's
where I'm
not the
thinking.
person in Odison that you referenced during that.
Exactly what I was
And
thinking.
that you're gonna get a phone call from, you know what I mean? And I get what you're saying.
Yep. That's something that the board's gonna have to decide. I mean, that was an option. And it would pacify a lot of people if that's what it went.
I think it'd be a good option. It's gonna help both ways.
I know it's money we normally use for other things, but it's,
But one, I mean. Cause it goes back into the general, right?
Right.
yes,
I mean,
it's still a detriment, but it's the money that people pay to use the facilities.
So do we have any numbers that we could go back, say 3 or 4 years and say, this is the number that we would have had from 2020 to?
If you wanna jump.
Well, I'm just,
Yeah,
being
good
there,
question,
going
Bruce.
down that road, I figured we might as well walk the.
Okay, so we'll kind of mix the two conversations if that's
Yep,
okay.
that works.
This is a packet of information that I put together regarding like that revenue sharing.
Okay,
And the last page has a historical. What we generated revenue wise. I think it goes back, I don't know, 15 years or so. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess, as you can see. 2020, 2021, that was COVID. And that's an outlier. It was artificially high. People were just cabin fever, crazy to get outside. Last 1, 2, 3, 4 years, you're at that 110 to 122-ish range. I don't have obviously final numbers for 25, 26. I looked this morning, as long as things continue like I think they will, you're looking at 120, 122-ish again. So we kind of settled in to that range.
And even at 60,000, if you split it in half, you're looking at 180,000 in 3 years. That would put a Band-Aid on a
Yep.
big part of this.
Yep, and like, I guess we're jumping ahead to the revenue sharing thing. You know, when I threw that out there at you, I thought it was kind of an outside the box type of a proposal. But since I've talked to you, the IACCB, Iowa Association of County Conservation Boards, actually did a survey statewide, and 65 to 70% of other county conservation boards actually have some sort of a revenue sharing plan in place. It's not really a outside the box thing. Those agreements, they're kind of all over the place from 25-75 match to some of them get to keep 100% of their thing. So what I threw at you there is a 50-50 split. It's mirrored after what Webster County uses. Expense wise, by the time we pay our camp host, pay our electric bill, maintenance, cleaning, 50,000, 51,000 is kind of our expenses in the parks. So you would, if you split that 120, you're not putting the county in the hole, you know what I mean? Like the,
And that's to pacify what we just. Cause that money normally goes in the general fund,
Yep.
we only use half of it, it will
Yep.
still satisfy both sides of that coin. That's my input anyway.
I think the county should back a little bit of it also, set some aside. Cause it is a countywide trail. It is something that we don't get it. I think it's gonna hurt us down the road.
What would be the reason we wouldn't get it, Rick? Do we have to have a match?
We have to have a match.
Well, if we,
That way I know we're not
So you have to have a match win,
by 2029.
so
Well,
you just.
we gotta guarantee that match is gonna be there.
That's what I
And
meant.
it's hard to guarantee community contributions. You know what I'm saying?
and there will be an expense with acquiring that easement, that right of way.
And that
That-
has to be done first.
I'll need something sooner rather than later when it
Yeah.
comes to that. And that's what I'm saying, like,
The options out there for the landowners are they can donate it at an elevated in cost or value to them so they can deduct
use it as
off
a
their
tax
deduction,
incentive, yes.
which is a nice way of doing it.
Yep,
Uh,
Matt, at least from Badger to Fort Lodge, Matt said a couple of them took advantage of that, but most of them just wanted the check for their
yes,
property.
so there's different options. But I feel if the county general basic could throw 50,000 a year for the next 3 years to guarantee that that money's gonna be there. It would look better for our grant also. Rather than assuming you're gonna raise it through public funds. So with the conservation board throwing in 50. And the general basic throwing in, setting aside 50, it's there. That's just my thoughts,
How much is it? The match?
300.
Match
250.
250 to 300, Trish, and again, there's a lot of moving parts, I wanna be clear. But in talking to Matt and Stacy, they thought that was a best guess scenario. Like a realistic scenario, I'm not pie in the sky in that, like, could be more, it could be less, maybe. If everything goes well, but I think we all know typically not everything falls into place.
No.
So,
well, if we're gonna go with the match, a guaranteed match, then I see no sense in doing with revenue sharing. If we're gonna take it out of both pots. Unless,
So
there-
then we're 150,000 short.
that's what it. Yeah, I guess, yeah, we'll go that way.
So then we're back to.
Right. Is. Unless you have to, I just had 180,000 in my head for some
Or
reason.
180, whatever it was. That's my thoughts on it. Got any thoughts, Danny?
Yeah, do we really, is there any way that we've got, that we don't have to have this 150, 80 of our own money in it? Grant wise, anything outside, it's a possibility.
I think that's probably the 250 match realistically is probably as good as you're gonna get. You know, like I said, it's a 5 million project.
Yeah.
You get 95% of it paid for. They're gonna make you have some skin in the game. I don't see that being 100% paid for. That just. And not what you wanna hear, but I'm just being honest with you.
Got realistic,
Yeah.
realistic too.
When do you find out?
For the 1 million, the regional one, that's like April,
Okay.
early May. The other one, the state one, you apply in
Make my own decisions.
October. The scoring, I believe, is in November of 2026. So those would be the two big ones. There's a state rec trails grant that you wouldn't apply for until July 2027. So that one's a little further out.
That'd be all
But we have to have a commitment by then. I mean,
Today, I'm just looking really for an approval of this resolution. Without this resolution,
It's dead no.
you can't apply for the TAP money, period. You're out.
So would this be a 2080 agreement we're gonna have to set up?
With Webster County,
Yeah, with Webster or anything that's tied to this?
Just a joint application is all it is. I don't think you don't need a 28E, and then when and if things actually happened, when it was constructed, and you take care to the county line, and
Okay.
it is what it is. To me, that would be the simplest. But
so what if you put it as a capital project? And budgeted it that way?
that's what that's what I'm looking for from the general basic on the 50,000. Set aside, and if it don't happen, we don't spend the money. I mean, it's just set aside and it's guaranteed that.
So my question is, you got $5 million you're requesting for grants. What happens if they only give you 2.5?
at that point, I would come back to you and you could say,
Yay or nay.
we
Well,
can pony
that's-
up more money or we're out. And honestly, Bruce, you're out. I know that.
Well, I'm
Yep, and that
kind
could
of like playing
happen.
poker and
Yep,
Yeah,
legit question, and that could happen.
because
it's kind of like we're doing with the bridge thing out there. You know, we're throwing, we probably got 50,000 in that project already. We don't know if we're gonna get the rest of the money, right?
Right.
But
I
it's
mean, we know
again,
we've got 2 million,
we got half, just about.
we're applying for the other 2.3.
can you loan us that to go for the trail?
The 2.3?
I'm teasing, Heather.
I'm putting in the paper.
That was said by Bob.
Well, a few years ago, we sat here on the dam issue. And that fell through. And maybe some people liked it that it fell through, but I was really disappointed that it fell through. I think it's an opportunity that if we don't take it now, it'll be gone. Cause you don't often get a chance at 95%. I'll make a motion to adopt a resolution with a $50,000 capital improvement. For 3 years. And then the cost share with the conservation. At what number would you like, 50?
That's reasonable to me.
Okay, for 3 years. Going towards this project. That's my motion.
We have a motion
Yeah,
and was that a second? All right. We have a motion and a second to adopt the resolution.
I think you need a roll call
Yeah.
vote for that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, Bruce.
Yep. I'm trying to
Okay, yep, no,
Get through the-
I'm sorry.
through the whole thing, and you said 50 from the,
General basic is a capital improvement, so it's set aside every year and kept in that account for 3 years.
and then are you going to add the
And add the 50,000.
cost share
The cost share with the
with that
conservation.
motion
Yes,
so that it's all together?
yeah,
Eventually, you'll have that 100,000 that you're going to get from that previous project to throw on this also.
If that's how you guys wanna use that. Again, I'm thinking
Why not?
yeah, I guess as well.
it makes sense to me
Well,
as a way to leverage that money towards more money, but again, that's up to you guys.
Okay. You wanna hear the motion again, or are you all good with that resolution?
You got any questions? You were writing it down. Do you have any questions?
We'll look back at the video.
Well, we need a roll call vote, then we'll go with, Bob. Mike, speak up a little bit, because I'm an old man. There you go, thank you. Dennis,
Aye.
Rick,
Aye.
oh my God, my phone hasn't rang much for a while, I might as well say aye. Because I know the people that are gonna be PO'd about the dam, so,
Well,
well,
we had an option to do something with the dam a couple of years ago.
With
we
that,
did.
then I think I have a radio ad that said that people where the dam are really four trails also. You want me to play that?
I don't think that any of them are against the trails, but I think that there's a new avenue. Now that we're gonna cost share some of the conservation, you might end up having a phone call. But I'm not gonna start anything.
Which is
so-
fine, it's all good.
It's still sitting there, so hopefully in the future.
Yeah, it's still ours, and we haven't given them an answer that I know of that they requested over 6 months ago, so. We'll leave that alone. So we got the resolution passed.
Mhm.
Revenue
And we'll
sharing,
know,
how do you wanna handle that? The revenue sharing thing. I mean, that's a separate item on the agenda. I guess we've kind of taken care of the resolution.
well, didn't that
Oh,
get added in with?
Was
the-
that added in?
That was added in on my motion.
That was,
Yeah, well,
Okay, just to be
yeah.
clear, okay. Just to,
That was 50%.
50,000 over the next 3 years,
And then 50,000 from conservation.
Right.
And cost share.
yep,
okay,
it was added in.
so that will sunset after 3 years or?
Yes.
Okay,
It's just 3 years for that purpose, and after that, you can use whatever else you want.
but it will continue to be split 50-50 after the 3 years, I guess is what I'm
Oh, I see
asking
what
for
you're looking.
clarification on. Beyond the 3 years, is it just
At
a,
that time.
Yeah, I guess we can talk about it in 3 years.
See how it goes.
okay. Fair enough.
So let's really stamp 3 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
all right,
All right,
sounds good.
thank you.
Thank you.
See that?
Yep.
oh. You're gonna get me involved either way.
But
Okay, looks like Ben's up.
Morning.
Morning.
And then.
I didn't see that.
Oh, you get the little tree.
I did, it's on the ground. Couple items for the board this morning. The first is to approve an application to work in the county's right of way for a utility permit for Mid-American. They're looking at putting in a couple of 45-foot poles and then switching to underground up here on we call it the Radio Tower Road, but it's just north of the radio station where you turn and go around the corner. It runs to Daggy's property right now. Just west of the acreage, the High Line crosses the road and there's a bunch of poles out in the field. They're looking at switching power to that acreage to underground. So
Everything is in order?
everything is in order.
Work, I would bring it, and then they can.
I'll second it.
We have a motion in a second. Any more discussions? All in favor, aye? Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
The next item that I've got on the agenda is to review and possibly approve an oversized driveway application for Anderson Aggregates LLC. This is for the quarry property on Georgia Avenue. As you guys may or may not know, the county's policy with regard to driveways right now for a single occupant has a max of a 50-foot top and a shared driveway, max top of 60 feet. Being that this is a, business entrance, what they're asking for is 100-foot driveway top. They're looking at, two 100-foot driveway tops, 600 feet apart, one for an entrance, one for an exit on either side of the proposed scale location. I believe I included a mock-up that was given to us. Yes.
Okay.
So, like I said, they're planning on having a dedicated entrance and exit to clear up possible congestion.
Yeah.
There isn't much of a ditch here to begin with, remember?
There isn't. There's no need for driveway pipe on this one with the fractured limestone so close, the water just goes down.
Okay.
Two of them, yep. So the location is from 205th Street, 600 feet south and 1,200 feet south. And then there's two existing driveways on Georgia right now that he's planning on removing as part of this. I told him good luck. There's a reason they're still there. They're all rock. It's solid rock. When we cleaned ditch, we got to those and
Just a slab of limestone.
we just decided it wasn't worth the time it was gonna take for us to try and tear them out. So we just covered them back with dirt and left them.
Okay. And he's doing this all himself, so.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to move forward for Anderson Aggregates LLC to the driveways in.
We have a motion and looking for a second.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Those same sign, motion carried. Is there, do we know, is there anything in the ditch through there as far as I doubt?
For utilities, no, it's all rock. The closest thing would be that Nutri-Drip water line that's right at the back of the right of way. Power is located on the west side of the road there. At some point, we'll see an application from, I believe, Midland Power to bring power across the road
Yeah.
on that stretch, talking to Cole. He wants to do that underground to avoid putting another overhead line in, which we're very in favor of.
I would think that'd be challenging.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to go in there with a
Saw.
with a concrete saw. I've seen them where they've got the attachments for a skid loader. I think they had that out there when they were putting that Nutri-Drip line in. It's just a big,
Just like a
it's
stump
just a
grinder.
big wheel with teeth on it to cut through, so. Yeah,
okay,
Everything else going.
good. Yesterday, the sun coming out and the wind blowing created some icy spots out on a bunch of county and state roads. Guys are out right now trying to throw some sand down to get that taken care of. Looks like another shot of snow Wednesday, Thursday this week, and then Friday will be 60 degrees, so. It's an unpredictable winter in Iowa.
How's that pickup door, just still shut?
What's that?
How's that pickup door, does it still shut?
It's not opening. So the other day when it was extremely windy, one of my, new hires had a pickup door get away from him. Basically folded the thing open, so. They got it back shut, but doesn't open very well right now. I have not. They were supposed to take it over to Hodovic to get an estimate. I have not seen it yet, so.
It happened.
Huh?
I saw it.
You saw the estimate?
No, that's.
Oh, you saw the pickup? Yeah, yeah. I told him that's strike two on that truck. If he had a third one, I was taking the truck away.
We've had grader doors get shattered because of the very thing, so
Yeah.
it's not uncommon for that to
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, it's unfortunate and. I mean, they've been operating all day, parking into the wind to open the door strategically and one time, that's all it takes is once.
yep, get it away, and it's mess.
Yep.
All right, well, keep our fingers crossed for the
Warm
snow,
weather.
see where we're at, and we'll be back to wearing shorts and loving life.
Wait, you're crossing your fingers for snow? Is that what I heard?
You know what, Friday was such a miserable day, I didn't even. I had to go up Saturday to see if my truck would move, cause it was dripping when it came in, and yesterday was a challenge to get it to even, it started, but it like it was froze, so. Couldn't talk my wife into doing it, so I had to.
That's the joy.
Yeah, it is. All right, well,
All
thank you,
right.
Ben.
Thank you.
Ben,
Okay. Nicole.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Another beautiful cold day out there. Well, I'll try and keep it short and sweet. I just wanted to see about getting approval for starting hiring process again of another clerk. We had our other one leave unexpectedly, so. I'm planning on going through the applications. We had many of them before. So, and seeing about hiring again.
What's your thoughts?
Can you function without her? Without that third one?
As I said before, for us to function in ours with only two, it is rough. Right now I'm already 3 days behind. Just in this last week. When we don't get our stuff done, as I've talked about before, with our office, we all work together. It's all one well-oiled machine. I said between the stuff that we bring into our office, we record in order for us to bring that in a timely manner for the assessors to get it, for the auditors to get it, to do their work. If we get behind, that puts them behind. I don't know how far they are right now. We all have to work together in order for our office to bring in what we have. It needs to go to them in a timely manner. It needs to go out so that assessors can do theirs, auditors can do theirs, treasurers can then have what they need for their taxes. It's all a machine. For us to only have two of us in our office, number one, it really alleviates anybody having any time off. If one of us is sick for a week, my deputy was gone for a couple days last week. So it puts us down to one-man office. We have to close our office more. So when people are trying to drop off documents, come in to renew, if they need to get one of them, we have different things that we do in our office. It's not just the recording of the documents, but a lot of it is real estate. We have people that'll call and say, why is our stuff not on our land records? We need this to get our mortgage going. We need that. Well, when we get a week behind, 2 weeks behind, they get behind and not be able to get their mortgages out. If you would go in and you'd want to have your deed recorded, it's going to put you behind a couple more weeks to get your mortgage recorded. Because people are waiting for that to get on our land records for the different documents and document numbers. Then we also have people wanting to come in and do marriage licenses. People that want to come in and get certified copies of their marriages, deaths, births. If our office is closed down because it's a one-man office. It's hard for vacations. It's hard for, again, sick time. Any of that. We also do the boats. We also do ATVs, ORVs, which is going to become big right now is the boats. People wanting to get boat renewals. And if they come in from out of town or have a quick lunch break, they can't, somebody's not there. We've got meetings coming up here pretty soon. We got the spring ISAC conference. I mean, yeah, I can miss that. But then that's training that I don't get and not knowing the newest stuff. So to go down to a two-man office, I don't believe is fair to either myself or my deputy. But
At some point in time, we're going to have to look at staff reduction at some point. I don't know when that's gonna be for sure, but. It's gotta start somewhere.
You know, the state's pushing.
Yep, it's gonna start somewhere.
I mean, the state is pushing to get rid of recorders, as you know.
I do know that. It will never happen because of the Ives. There is no possible way for that to go into another office without being a separate office still. It's
The
that,
office height, the office would be there, but there may not be a department head that is elected to that
that could
position.
happen. That could happen. They would have to still be separate as far as that. And if they try to do that, we've talked about this, if they try to do that, the department head that would be in charge of both of them wouldn't be able to be trained, honestly, in some of the stuff because they couldn't have. So that's what we've been talking about when we were talking before. I really would love to add in doing the passports, I'm sorry, thank you. The passports again. Again, that's another thing that we'd have to separate out. And that's a lot for someone to take on all of those different hats.
Then,
It's always money.
It is.
Well, she has the money allocated in her budget for the position that. And now it's
Built
just
down.
your decision whether you wanna cut them back to 2, or if you're going to allow them to continue to operate at 3 like they've been, so.
How many applicants do you have right now to talk to again?
About 13.
We just added another $50,000 in debt. This budget too.
What was that, Trish?
We just added another $50,000 commitment.
bike,
Well,
Our office had to give up this person. I mean, it was willingly.
And I get it, I mean, yeah, down to 3, at least you have a couple still to go through if somebody is off. The other offices have 4, which I get again. But down to a 2-man office as far as, again, vacations, sick time, if somebody is sick and out for a week. If I need to go to meetings. It's a lot to put on for just 2 people. We would have to close our office a lot more, which is not fair to the public and the community.
I'm gonna make a motion for you to go ahead and look for the applicant. Get somebody hired.
Thank you.
I understand it, and eventually, they're gonna be together anyway. We don't all assume that's coming. So, I'll make a motion to go ahead and get somebody hired.
Thank you.
Is there a second?
I had a question for you, John. If it's in our budget, this should need our approval.
Still needs your approval to hire, yes. You approve all hire. So, should still need your approval. So I think, even though it's in our budget, I guess technically she could hire somebody and then put it in front of you to approve the hire.
I see.
And then
Okay.
you guys don't have to approve the hire. But yes, you approve every hire in all of our offices.
Mhm.
Well, didn't we request her to last week
We
to
did.
come back down and ask? So is there a second?
I struggle with it. Probably mainly from my exit interview I got. That's my concerns. I think we should try it for a while too. issues to our office, see how it goes. We can always hire someone later. I know April. I don't know if it's this year for vote registration. I thought I just did it last year.
Every year,
Every year is,
Oh, it's a 3-year deal every year.
yeah, but people get new ones every,
I see.
this is just the time for boat, people to purchase boats.
Oh, I
This
see
is
what
the
you're
time
saying.
of year for boats to go
Gotcha.
through. This is the time of year when you start seeing a lot of real estate going through more. We've had a lot of ag recently, a lot. We just had $1 million, $1,400,000 one go through Friday with a bunch of documents.
Well,
Is there ways to streamline your office so you're not doing duplication of things,
As far as,
your work process of rather than going over and over and over stuff?
like,
You know,
online? or-
No, just do it one time and then not have to go, is there's ways of streamlining your office work, put it that way.
So you're not going over it 2 or 3 times.
We don't go,
That was-
we,
do you know, I don't know anything that they do. I don't know why you'd go over it 2 and 3 times.
we wouldn't go over it 2 or 3
wouldn't.
times. We index it. We do check it afterwards before it goes onto Iowa land records. So usually, I said, you guys are more than welcome anytime to come down and see our process, but there's accepting of the documents. We have to go through our Iowa document formatting standards to make sure that they all, that is an Iowa state code that you go through to make sure that they all hit those formatting standards to make sure your money is correct. Then we have to index, so you have to put in all the information from that to be uploaded to Iowa land records. And then we have to submit them to Iowa land records for approval through them. But one document usually takes anywhere from, I would put on average 20 to 30 minutes to index and put through, and then processing it into Iowa land records. But we also accept money in ours, so we have to go through our balancing every day. Banking. Processes of all that.
I don't.
We have a lot
I
of-
can say we'll try it for 30 days, and if it don't work, then we can always hire somebody. It's
I
not
would-
like it's the end of it.
I was just gonna say that there's really no better time right now to test the waters to see if, nobody likes cuts. This isn't gonna be if this is the first one, it's not gonna be the last, I'm sure of that. We can see that coming down. So, I'd say, let's test the waters and see what they can do if they can get themselves, able to run the show. Who knows?
So you're
Let's see
okay with
what they
me,
do. Excuse me?
you're okay with me closing my office for days at a time?
Well, we'll see if that's what happens.
I really, really encourage and invite all of you to come down and sit for a while and see what we go through. I really do.
I'll probably be down.
I would love that.
I guess the motion dies for lack of a second then.
Did you get a chance to talk to Mike Galloway?
Bruce did, I believe, Bruce.
I did
Well, he's
check
gone on
with
vacation.
Mike, he's gone. I did talk to Jeff, Edger. And him and I visited for quite some time. And basically what his comment was is in an elected position, we really don't have a whole lot of recourse. What happens in their office is not any different than any of the other ones that have hirings or firings or someone leaves, so.
Oh, I was talking about the paying out of the vacation, the sick time.
No,
Can't talk about that.
Okay, okay.
sorry and thank you.
Who do I talk to about that?
About what?
Payroll stuff.
Shauna.
All right,
Okay.
thank you. Well, I kind of feel really stupid asking for discussion and possible action on board cell phones if we just did, so,
You need them, you should get them.
okay,
You clearly
we can spend money doing that, but
This is one of the, probably, the thing that would make the absolute most sense is for you guys to have county issued cell phones for your position as a supervisor. That way you can conduct county business on a county phone. And any question as to whether that involves public records or discoverable information will be gone. Your county cell phone would be open to public examination if requested. It keeps your private phone with you. Frankly, I would just from a legal standpoint would advise every elected official to have a county issued cell phone. It makes more sense than.
Well, I just brought it up because number one, my cell phone's on the website, my number. Number two, my cell phone is my business phone and my personal phone, and if I ever lose that, it's not gonna be good. My phone rings constantly, it needs to be a county phone, and my number of the county phone could be on the website, I don't care. But my personal phone is my personal one.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to separate your personal life from your job as a supervisor. Much easier from a legal standpoint, if you guys have county issued cell phones. Regardless, honestly, in my opinion, regardless of the expense.
Now, can I get my email? Would I be able to get the email on the phone too or not?
Yeah.
Because half the time my damn computer don't work anyway. So,
It's been running just fine the entire time I've had it on my desk.
okay, well,
This is challenging, but yes, we can, and in terms of cost, and actually, John, I'm glad you were here for that, so we could give that speech again, because I don't think Denny's heard us do it yet. But in terms of the cost, based off the T-Mobile numbers, because Kevin's the one that got back to me right away. And Trish, I think, yeah, you did hit that, thank you, by the way. We'd go with the middle tier, which is what I'm on, would be my suggestion, is the middle tier. By the time you add on the 911 surcharge and fees, you know, that those, basically, it's a fun way to call it taxes when you can't tax a government agency, I'm sure. We were looking at about $3,500 or $35 a month per line. So I just did the math on it real quick, that's $2,100 a month if all, or excuse me, a year if all 5 of you.
that's pretty cheap, as far as I'm concerned.
How does Webster County do it? You got one number for every supervisor, and I remember who you call the courthouse, but then they relay the message to the supervisors.
Yeah, I don't know how Webster County, I haven't.
And that would eliminate that cost, and that's something that's why I've got 2 phones. But that was just something else that I wanted to throw out there, because I've tried getting hold of Webster County supervisors, and it's all one number.
So how does theirs work?
You call that number, and I think it's probably a recorder or somebody answers the
It goes into the auditor's office there.
And then they gotta
Yeah.
call you.
They have a phone in their supervisor's room, that's the phone number. So.
But that's their
Yeah.
office.
Well, yeah,
That's another job for you to do, not.
Right.
well, I think it's because.
I think
they're
the
also-
real problem is, even if you designate a phone line here.
They still
how are you
confiscate
calling
your
them
phone.
back? Yeah, how are you calling them back?
Yeah.
How are you gonna communicate with your constituents? How is Bruce gonna get all his angry phone calls? So the important thing is we want Bruce to get those.
yeah, we do.
And sorry, I don't.
We've talked about it on the secondary road level as well. 3 phones for the 3 foremen, and if they're out of town trucking or whatever for the weekend, they hand it down to the next guy.
Yep.
So that if there's an issue, I'm only calling one number, or law enforcement's only calling one number instead of trying to call the 5 guys that all report to the Hardy shop.
Yes, this is 1985, we shouldn't have phone trees. You guys, this is really important, like, it may seem like it's trivial and it may seem like, oh, you know, $2,100 a year is a lot of money, but it allows, one, you guys to keep your lives separate. 2, a very simple result, if we need to turn over phones, or get phone information. Those things would be part of your bill that would be stored in the auditor's office, or copies will be with the auditor. Be really simple to take care of any request, as opposed to me trying to get your cell phone records, or you guys getting them yourself and giving them to me, and then me having to figure out what is discoverable and what is not, or a judge. Like, your county phones will be discoverable, and I would encourage you to just use those in your job as a supervisor. I
You
can't
get,
stress
you got a
enough how
county
important I
phone,
think
because
this
the
is.
deputies all got county phones, okay, that's why I was just curious, I didn't know.
I cannot stress enough how important I think this is.
And I have a separate county phone, obviously.
What's your wishes?
Is that the cheapest possible ones?
As it stands right now, and again, like the Verizon rep hasn't gotten back to me. But as it stands right now, Verizon, because I have the one for community services. And it's, again, negligible, it's $3 a month more. But one advantage now, it's not gonna apply to everybody because T-Mobile has now bought out US Cellular, so if you have a US Cellular, you're not gonna notice much, but one advantage I'll notice, because my personal phone has been Verizon for 20 some odd years now, is this past summer anyway, Verizon had a lot of hiccups on days in my T-Mobile phone. So my point is, if you got service out on one phone for whatever reason, if, like in my case, I have Verizon, then at T-Mobile, I can still use the other one in an absolute emergency if I had to.
Okay.
With these plans, and the Verizon will be the same thing. I just want to point this out too, in the event you need to. They do provide a data plan for providing hotspots, so your phone can act as a wireless access point. So that's part of it. The reason why I went with the middle tier is because I didn't need, in my opinion, 100 and some gigs of hotspot every month. And two, you get the same grade of free phones with the plan as you do the more expensive plans. So, okay.
What do you have for, what's your?
Android, US Cellular.
I guess Verizon.
I got US Cellular right now.
What do you got?
US.
Forgot about one. I have Verizon. I've had Verizon for.
Well, it doesn't make any difference. Long as it
No,
works,
you-
I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
No, and that's what I said. I mean, I've had Verizon ever since I got my first one through work in 2004 or 5, something like that. I mean, I'm not complaining about either service. I'm just,
I'm good with them.
Yeah, we're fine. I'm good with it.
If someone calls you on your private cell phone, tell them they need to call you on your work cell phone and give them the number.
Absolutely.
And then, Bob, you can obviously remain with Verizon on your work and private cell phone. No one cares what provider you have there.
Right.
It's just.
I mean, it'll take a while to get switched over, because there's so many people who have,
Yeah, and I would
have
just,
our cell
my whole
numbers
problem-
now.
my cell phone's all over the whole county, so.
Well, and I would just start telling people, you need to call this number.
Yep.
Switch it in your.
You put it on the
Yeah,
website, maybe.
Yeah, put it on the
Put it on
website, but anybody that's calling you for supervisor business, tell them, no, this is my number, you need to call this number. Please do this.
Well, I'm gonna make a motion to go with, it'd be tier 2, is that what you want, we're thinking?
well, that's what I'm saying. And like I said, that's the one I'm on. And actually, that's the one my rep said we'd want, unless you really have a need for
No.
a godly amount of
No,
hotspot.
no, I mean,
The free phone options are the same and it's cheaper.
So my question is this, before you make your motion,
I-
you wanna
okay.
do this before, he gets the other quote back, or you wanna, I mean, it isn't like 1 week's gonna sink us, but you want him, I don't
You can
care.
approve whatever the cheapest quote is, but approve
Yeah.
doing this, so it's done.
yeah,
And then either it's T-Mobile, or if he gets a quote that's lower, it's that. And then it's already done, so you can just get them and start
Right,
fast.
I'll just make a motion to move forward with whichever one is cheaper, whatever you.
Are the phones included, or we gotta buy the phones too?
No, the phones will be included. If you want something outside of the free options,
Okay,
and then, yeah, you get so much off with a new service. And then and I think it may be briefly documented, if I remember right.
I'll second it.
the motion and a second for, the cheaper of the two, I guess.
Yep.
I will put it. Any other discussion?
I'd like to throw in there just, I would hope next Monday's meeting. Then I'd be able to tell you guys, you know, which one came in at what price,
Yeah.
and then we can make that decision from there.
Perfect.
Okay.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carried.
I got a question for John now.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get this new county phone, all your emails, everything come through that phone.
Yeah.
So if I have my county email on my iPad at home, that's, it's still okay.
Still-
Yeah.
So
We just,
I won't have to worry about you confiscating my iPad just because it
no,
also duplicates to there.
yeah, no,
Okay.
we need, so emails are a whole different ballgame, whether they're on 600 devices or one. Which, if someone requests your emails, we need just your email. If,
Right.
this will avoid somebody being able to request your private phone. And it allows what I consider to be a pretty normal way of doing business, a work issue phone, so you guys, with all the calls that you get from everybody at all hours of the day or night, every day. Can go to one phone and that's your work phone, and then. There might be times where you have to turn it off because you have something going on and so you could get away from it and you don't have to deal with business on your personal phones. Unless Bob wants to make a sign. And then- So, I mean, like Bob can still deal with his private business on his personal phone, he just doesn't have to worry about
Yeah,
county business on it.
Was nice, you can take all the pictures, all your, like, I
Yeah.
got county pictures out here right now that I don't really need them on.
Right, that's the other,
And I would say that's one argument I would also make if Ben is interested in moving forward is because they all are gonna have work pictures on their personal.
Absolutely.
And I just, you know, we live in a strange society, so those pictures may have to come up and Ben loses, and Sheriff Kruger can attest to this, and this is a bit of an exaggerated idea, but Ben could lose his personal phone, or any of his guys could lose their personal phone if a case comes up for a few months. While it's evidence for a case. I mean, you may not need to. Yeah,
you would have to get a different phone during that time, that's the
Yeah.
problem.
yes, yep.
Is there cheaper rates if you have more lines? I guess is my only.
I would
question.
think so.
Like if you guys are looking at 5, if I add. The 3 of us in the office and 3 foremen, if I added 6, like is there a price break if you go over 10 lines?
I got 6 on my line and I get discounted for it. So you better check into that.
Right, and we can, but yours is, like I said, to just, again, when we went over the camera stuff. Business versus government is gonna be a little, so, yeah, I'm just don't.
You would think
be
government,
guaranteed.
you would think government would be a little bit cheaper. You would think. Don't give me that look. I'm just saying, the more phones you get,
No, I know, yeah, I know where you're getting at. for
and
sure.
if he needs 3, now would be the time to do it. Check on that, see where we are.
Yeah, I think if it's another week or even 2 weeks.
Sure.
Just well get Ben and find out, you know, if there is a savings, now the time if we're gonna do it.
Okay.
Do it right.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Yes.
Did we vote on that? It's been such a long time, I
I
forgot.
knew that was coming. First, second. you
Yep.
just-
Now, do you wanna change it, so do you guys have to approve Ben's 6 additional? I don't know how that works, John.
I can deal with you separately.
Why don't you guys just make a motion to approve getting phones under the cheapest plan, whether that includes the engineer's office or not? Whatever's the cheapest, either just whatever, if it's better to include the engineer's office, great. If it makes no difference, then separate. So whatever's the cheapest.
I'll make a motion, I need to redo that.
You need to back up, and don't we need to rescind the other one?
Yeah.
We had a
Well,
motion
just-
in a second,
Or just vote against it and then
okay,
do a new one.
all in favor, aye? Opposed, same sign? Now you say aye,
nay, or whatever.
nay,
Nay.
like pulling teeth today, kids.
Now can I make a motion?
Motion failed, now what do you wanna say? Go ahead, I'm listening.
I'll make a motion for Chris to get prices on the supervisors,
5.
5 phones along with the 6 phones for Ben's department. And then get back to us next Monday on pricing,
Yep,
on the
if
cheapest price.
I have meaningful information back from both parties, then yeah, I will definitely do that on Monday.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm gonna beat you.
Now, now we got a second and third. Any other discussions? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. It was Mike and Dennis, so they joint efforted it.
Okay.
Yeah, give it.
All right, that was a
Struggle.
trip around the block. Okay, here we go. Move into the salary discussion continued.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. So are we have, the recording being added. We have a couple of sheets that Trish had put together for the options that we talked about last week with the 5 and the flat fee, right? Or
Yeah.
flat raise.
The only thing I noticed is I got a few part-time, that I would keep at 5% rather than the,
Right,
what's that?
which ones? I did. If they were under the 60,000, they certainly. At the 3%, or the 3,000.
But if you're only working 20 hours a week, that's a pretty healthy bump.
Yeah,
That's why I'd say if they're part-time employees, you drop it back to the 5%.
Okay.
so we're also in the,
Yes.
I think it only involved 2. So I looked through it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only thing I would change on the spreadsheet that you gave us on that I looked through.
So what's any thoughts on,
I'm sure if we went straight 5 across the board, it'd be a little cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
It's as to your recommendation, Bob.
yeah, and then my recommendation was going 5% straight across the board.
2,000.
And I think I visited with Ben, he said it didn't amount to a whole lot.
So most of my guys that are not in their probationary period, like they're close enough to that 60,000 number that you stated. It was a sum of like 50, 60 bucks for an employee between the 2 options.
So, yeah.
geez,
Well,
Maybe it's a lot of talk about it.
The initial goals are gonna be top
Yeah.
and top bottom closer together.
Mhm. And I'd say maybe it's just a lot of thought and paperwork for nothing.
Don't know unless you try.
Other things. We've had lots of conversations on the sheriff's budget, doing comparables with different cities. Within the state, counties out of the state, we looked at multiple counties in Nebraska and Minnesota.
Why would you look at counties in Nebraska?
But that's what it says. In that,
The guidelines.
That was supposed to.
that's, I mean, that's the guidelines we gotta follow. I know it's dumb. And why don't we compare to other counties in Iowa? That's dumb.
Yeah, that would be the right thing to do.
I
Well,
know,
actually, so how it works is there's 2 different comparisons that have to be made with the sheriff's salary. So comparison number 1 is gonna be county sheriffs in Iowa, county sheriffs out of state, federal law enforcement, and then private sector. That's the first comparison. The second comparison is state patrol, ECI. Police chiefs. Where the code was changed is the salary of the sheriff now must be comparable to supervisors and the state patrol, the DCI, and then police chiefs in towns of a similar size to Humboldt County. That's where the comparison needs to be made. Not, it does not have to be comparable to out-of-state sheriffs, the federal government, or counties in Iowa. But the board still needs to make that analysis. They still need to look at those numbers. So that's why, they didn't take that part out of what is required for the other elected officials. They added something specifically for the sheriff.
So with that, are you considering the flat fee or flat increase or the 5% or whatever percent? 5% is what was figured, as well as, I guess we did throw a 2% on. Sorry.
Like like in my side, the difficult part, if you do the 3,000 on there, it's for my guys that have been here less than a year, so obviously they're not of the same rate as everybody else.
Yeah,
They're already getting 2 raises.
I'm fine with the 5, just a straight 5.
we're just going with 5% about one.
And I've got a question also on, Sean and Terry. I feel they should be moved up. Both of them.
I do too.
Thoughts? Anyone?
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
You know, it's. Either one of them are not deputies, right?
Sean and both,
Both are.
both are deputies.
They both are deputies.
Or are we gonna talk about it, or are we just gonna sit and stare at it and hope it changes?
I'm fine with the 5%.
Then stay with John at 3,
Yep,
and the board at 2.
we don't even need it as far as I'm concerned, it's whatever.
Well, you us at 0? Is that what you're saying?
That's what I want. I mean, that's my recommendation, but I'm just me, so. We get compensated.
I
Really
got
well,
one.
what we do. Bruce, what's your input?
I am afraid to say something for fear I'll up on myself here.
Yes?
It's not. And through the stuff, it's fine,
I just do this for the experience that I put on my resume when I'm looking for other jobs.
Keep your cell phone numbered up.
Yeah.
What do you wanna move up Sean and Terry? We discussed.
Well-
But nobody said anything about that.
I mentioned it last week, the 5 terms.
Each of them 5,000.
Yes.
That's a minimum. Yeah.
Okay, so we're Sean and Terry at 5,000. John at 3, us at 0. Straight along, and then the others straight across the board at 5%.
Are we raising 5,000 and the 5% on top of that for these two, or are we gonna just leave it at $5,000 a day?
Well, if you don't do it on top, you're not gaining,
You're not
gaining
That's why
some.
I'm asking that.
You have to do 5,000 plus the 5.
But it's either that or it'll take 3 years at that rate.
I know
Which
what it
is
is, all
fine
about
with
it,
me
it is
too.
what it is. They do a lot in that office. And when I say a lot, they do a lot. Cause that office is pretty much like the hub, like the courthouse. People may disagree with me. Oh, well.
We need to get this done, so I'll make a motion to approve the 5%, the 3%. We'll move on.
So my question then on that is if they're both deputies, aren't we stepping on I thought we only had one deputy.
We're trying to keep it, according to, from what I heard from Mike Galloway, you're supposed to have one deputy per office, who's
Yep.
based at, what is it, 80% of the elected official? So if they're, what are they currently?
5280. Yeah, they're getting paid what, on the other end of the hall there, they got 2 clerks in there at 52.
So all elected officials are gonna get 5%, except for John, he's gonna get 3%. And why is John just at 3%?
John said he's very happy with 3%.
Yeah, that's what he wanted.
I don't know if he agreed to it.
He agreed, I don't know if he's happy, but he agreed to it.
I'm not complaining.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna give all the elected officials 5%, why don't you just give him 5% as well? He's an elected official for.
He is an elected official.
I'm okay.
You guys didn't say 5 or no.
No.
No,
Yeah, so it's not all of them.
no, it's not all.
So do you feel sorry for us, Pete?
No.
No, because we don't do shit. I mean, we don't do nothing. Sorry.
That's gonna be the headline.
That's fine.
That would make a good headline
That's a
too.
quote.
Okay,
So what you want
I got a question for you, Trish.
Yeah,
So if Shauna and Terry are deputies, why are they not at 80% himself?
because we've been him-hawing about this since they were became deputies.
Okay,
I know we didn't know about it last year.
And
I wasn't here for it.
they should be. I mean, that's just part of the step thing, but, and see, I have 2 because we have elections and the regular office.
The drainage.
And
well. Okay. Did we have a motion?
Well, he didn't finish.
Well, we're gonna go 5% for all elected officials except us.
And
Oh, except us, yeah, that's what I thought.
The deputies and the auditors get brought up 5,000 plus a 5%.
correct.
which, yeah, okay, so
And what am I missing?
I think that's,
what's on your list?
I think that's it. I was
What are you guys gonna be then?
0,
Zero.
Okay. Cause I want,
because we don't
I
do,
need to read this. See,
5% straight across the board. Us is 0.
Part 2 part-timers are,
Sean and Terry up 5,000 each plus 5% on top of that. Right?
Yep.
I will second that
and
motion.
then the 2 part-timers.
It'll be at 5%.
Would be a 5%.
Yeah, 5%. I will second that motion.
Did you guys,
Plow through that.
you guys have looked at the comparables for Dean as far as state patrol,
Yes,
DCI and like all these chiefs, and that's. And if he gets a 5% raise, he's gonna be,
Around 119.
is he gonna be comparable to them? I guess.
yeah,
comparable,
Yes, it's comparable now.
yes.
do you know?
You're not on the high end, you're not on the low end, you're in the range. So,
Right.
yeah, if we're not, find out. It had some come. Oh, with the 5%, a lot of this reasoning is last year was zero across the board.
Yep.
So I just wanted to put that out there. Cause I know we'll get some flack for that much of a raise, but.
Is everybody
Over 2
happy?
years, 2.5.
Is everybody happy with Sean's, with Terry's, bump? Are we gonna work on this for like a 3-year cash?
At least 2, it'll take 2
I was
years.
gonna say it's gonna take close to 2 years to get it up there.
Can I say something?
Sure.
In regards to Terry and I going up 5,000 and then an additional 5%. That still puts us at like $9,000 less than, cause what will the others be? Is it 60?
65, 9.
Okay, so it puts us at like $6,000 still under the rest of the deputies in the courthouse. And it's 85%, not 80. Yes. And like Trish said, the reason that there are 2 deputies is because we have elections. So there's allowed to be one, just like for the treasurer's office, they have motor vehicle, they have treasurer, they have driver's license. I just don't think it's fair. Cause then we go another year of being
Fine.
significantly lower than the other deputies in the courthouse. So I just wanted to share.
Something like that.
That's like, as a salary.
That was what when Trish had her, time, when we did the budgets, and she requested that. And our comment was, is to bring that up, that amount was gonna cause nothing but. So that was the reason that it was, we thought we were gonna hold it in check and go over a 2-year period. Wasn't that what you?
That was my thought process, yes.
But you guys also said that last year, that you were gonna do it over 2 years and then. You know, everybody got nothing, which we get that, but then that puts us even farther back. So you don't know what's going to happen next year. You could go back to 0 and then we get pushed out again.
I will say, they're very responsible. They're here all the time. We're here extra hours because of elections.
And we did pick up an entire person. Without any additional compensation.
Well,
I just wanted to put that out there.
appreciate you coming and clearing up some error that I stated.
Thank you.
Yeah, as much as there's no reason that they should not be up at that level. I know. There we go, budget is budget, but fair is fair. And it's not fair.
No, it's not. I agree with you, it's not fair.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not looking to spend money there, but you gotta treat people decent. I don't think that's decent.
It's not.
Well. Where were we at? We've been talking about this for a while. We had a motion. Do we have a second?
Yeah,
I seconded it,
Good.
but now,
but now
Further-
you were
further
told that the
discussion.
numbers still aren't. Here we
go
go
again.
We'll do 13,857 to get them up to the,
To where they need to be,
yeah.
is that 24%?
14,57. Great.
So they do it all after.
And then-
the election.
15,857.
Don't take me wrong, guys. I'm just gonna make a statement.
So what?
I said, don't So I'm just gonna say something out there,
Okay,
at these wages they're paying in this courthouse, they're pretty high dollar wages
they are.
for a Humboldt community. And moving forward, we might have to hold back on these wages. You know what I'm saying? You take that position in these offices and compare it to a banking job, a lawyer job. And then along with our benefit package that we got, they're well compensated. But I can see the point where those two aren't compensated fairly with the other ones. Be no different than you having two deputies that were 10,000 less than other deputies that are doing the same job. I'm not picking on you, but reason or secondary roads employees.
So how do we justify to the public why they are down? Yeah, 10, 12, 13,000 losses. I know.
Why?
Yeah,
Because we were very conservative for the last few years
I know.
and we just said no. This last year's budget was extremely tight. And we went zero across the board and said no to everything. We weren't very well liked.
What's the time on them too?
No, I understand. You know,
Timeframe that they've been.
I know exactly what you're saying.
It was
The
where
only
they
thing that I
started
have
up their
problem with
wages
is
and they've only
they're
been
not,
here for.
they're not.
What, 3 years? 3 years?
It's, like it or not, they do a good job. They do everything that we ask them to do and they're getting 13,000 less than the rest of the people. Why?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
So part of it was the amount of time they'd been here and where they started out when they got here. So they haven't, and then last year there was nothing, so
That hurt.
that hurt
I hear you.
and the separation, so. Like I said, we talked about it, Trish requested it, when we saw the amount of raise that she had requested, we said we can't do that. If I remember the conversation right,
I think I said that.
I see.
so.
And that's where we come up with the idea of half this year and half next year. Spread it over 2 years.
Well,
And
Before you guys close, I'd like to advocate. Not to compare to Harry and Shauna or anybody in the courthouse, but she is $5,000 lower than the rest of the office managers in the surrounding counties. The comparable sheets that I gave to you guys shows that she's $2.80 an hour, like that, less than the other office managers. That's why I requested just a flat 5 for her. 5,000, not 5%. I'm fine with 5% for me, for my guys. Everybody's gonna be happy with that. Just advocating to go a little bit more in. So. And that's my piece.
Yeah. And there again, 4 years, how many years you been there?
Yeah, about the same amount of time as Terry and Shauna. I think she started by the same time.
Well,
So can I add something to your?
Sure, I will join in.
yeah,
Just to make you guys like, so I just want to be clear, so like, if we get 5%, what does Lindsay get? Does she get the 3,000 that you guys have for?
I think the motion on the table right now is just a straight 5.
That's the word, straight 5.
That's the motion. We have a first and a second on that. We're just having a discussion yet.
I just want to make sure, because she's not a deputy. She's probably the only one in the courthouse now that isn't, so I just want to make sure, because she's out doing drives. She's out, I mean, driver's license is a huge part of our office, so. I just wanna make sure that she's getting what she deserves to, so.
Actually, that 3,000 would have benefited her more than the 5%.
It does.
That was just.
It would have been nice.
Same with Kim. 3,000 would have benefited Kim more than that. $500. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering what was gonna happen.
I think next year we just skip the 3 weeks of going through the grief and listening and proposals and all that. And just wait because everything has changed since we went through that.
Well, essentially, you guys are doing the job that the comp board did.
Yes,
Yeah.
You're listening to everybody pitch their raises.
Yeah.
and that's the part of it.
Mhm.
That's why they all enjoyed being on comp board so much. Yeah,
So. Are you good?
I was getting more discussion.
No. As long as we're working to get them up to the level, and 2 years is better than nothing.
Well, Mr. Chair, should we call for a vote?
I'm ready if you are. Somebody wants to make that call.
Voting
I
on
think-
5% across,
5 across, the way I understood it.
except for supervisors.
Yeah,
No. The guys that don't do anything, we don't get anything. You want to vote? All in favor? Aye.
aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Say, don't make everybody happy.
No.
Well, I don't know about that.
Okay.
When do you have the minutes printed up just today,
Oh, that's negatory.
okay, tomorrow maybe?
All right,
All right, thank you.
discussion on, do you have anything else?
Was that 5-3 from the Senate? 3%.
5% straight across the board.
How about your committee report?
5%,
You wanna go through
Yep,
5,000 and then 5%.
Wednesday I had a public safety meeting. And well, it wasn't really a public safety meeting, it was a meeting with
Total.
Dean,
They're gonna be short 65.
Jacob.
They're gonna just go short 6,000.
Cole and Todd
It's better than 10.
on the police department and the sheriff's department, how we can resolve things. It went very well. A lot of things got laid on the table. And there's a lot of things that need to be addressed to the deputy side of it. So things need to be addressed and taken care of. And I told Dean and Jacob that I would check in at least once a week or once every 2 weeks to see how things are going. So hopefully we get that problem solved, and we will probably be voting on putting a door.
That's what my next question was, what was the conversation on that?
They wanna put a door in the police department. And they put on the west side. And then pave that parking out there, so it's pavement or whatever, concrete. So yeah, that was the discussion. We had a conservation board meeting that night.
Can I go back to this, other meeting?
Sure.
What about how are we going to enforce something? Does that go through you two, being you're on that board, or if there's a complaint, how, we need to figure out that. So
We are
It
going.
doesn't sit and fester for weeks and months, and then they threaten to move, and so something has to be done in order to make sure
Well, I
that,
told them to call me if there's any problems, or any conflicts, so. And then if there is, I'll call Rick and give some advisement, different ways.
well,
No, it might, or not, you want a suggestion from me.
no, I would.
But it might not be a bad idea, once you had your meeting with you and Cole and Mr. Slater and Dean and Jacob, it might not be a bad thing to make that a once a month meeting.
Oh, absolutely.
Just. And obviously, if you needed to meet more, you can meet more. I know it's not fair to take everybody's time, but most, if not all of these things that have cropped up seem to me to be miscommunication. And, if we could open the lines of communication, or at least so everybody's kind of on the same page, I think it's harder to see what's been happening and continue to happen. Because I think at the end of the day, both sides want to do a good job and want to do their jobs well. I just think that we need better communication. So if it's something like, and if you want me to sit in, not because I'm gonna solve any problems, but I'm happy to sit in because I want everything to run. It's really the whole time I've been here, so. I'm happy to sit in, but if we can sort out some of these problems or make these things non-issues before they crump up, I'm in for anything you want me to do.
Okay. But the biggest thing that comes down is communication, and respect.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I think we can do a better job of that, better shape, but I'm happy if you want me to come to it. I'll work with everybody down there.
Yeah.
I'm good with it.
When we have our next public safety meeting, I'll bring that up and we'll get that time set up, like maybe the week after that or something. And mornings work better for you?
Whenever you wanna make them up.
Yeah.
Just not Mondays,
There's not when?
not Monday mornings,
Okay.
any other Monday, any other day.
You know, we always have. New business or whatever, we typically got a report from Dean and Jacob at our LEC meetings. But obviously, they're not speaking their thoughts when they're there. Probably, so. It's not that we haven't had that time.
Yeah, I think it's been poor communication, and I think it's led to some problems that were avoidable, so. I'm in for whatever I can do to help or whatever you guys wanna do.
Well, that's why I'm saying if whatever you decide, we have to make sure that we follow through.
Yep.
Because if they aren't communicating and they're in the same offices, then we sure aren't gonna be on the.
Right. I'll be following through with
Receiving
it,
it.
trust me. So
I'm just.
Yeah.
I know you will, but I just wanna make sure that we don't get to the boil over point like we have been, where we're lobbing insults back and forth between a council meeting and out in the public. So, cause there's a lot of people that are wondering why we would even consider doing what they were considering. I still don't understand, so.
I think to put that door in was about 10 grand on the west side. Any other questions on that? And then Thursday, I was over here in Dakota City at Karen Rappel's place. She had a problem with her sewer line. And I was concerned that it was gonna hit her tile, or it could have been her tile that could have been collapsed. But as I stood there for 4 hours watching them dig, the sewer came out straight. And then all of a sudden it just dropped. And then it just broke off completely. So the sewer is completely broke, the sewer level is at 10 foot. Our tile was 15 foot. So it's about 5 foot underneath the sewer line, so. There was no problem on our part, it was all her sewer line. So.
Good.
That was
Not
resolved.
good for her, but. good
No,
for
but
us.
it was resolved, so. I do believe that's all I had for the week.
Okay. City council meeting at 5 o'clock, I think I went with,
Yeah, we stopped in there.
Is that the 18th? No,
that was the 17th, I'm sorry.
okay.
17th, we just went in and spent some time to see what the topic of conversation was going to be. Thursday, I met with John, Rick on comparisons and what we use to compare and get some numbers crunched together. So, trying to figure that out. And Friday, I had my webinar. There's some, Senate bills coming through that made it through final. Senate Bill 7376 is the one that went in last year. Mr. Clemish put it in. Companion Bill, House File 2580. It's both of them regulate the standards of our zoning ordinances and basically say you're going to move them to what we tell you you're going to have. If you have a moratorium, you have to publish how much money you didn't make if the moratorium was in place, if you would have had wind energy instituted. There's a lot of things to it, a lot of reading.
Say, you don't get nothing the first year.
There's a lot of things that, yeah, this thing is moving around, and a lot of things still aren't certain because it's just been first final week. Chris was talking about that ICN, that's who carries our service. The State Department of Management is trying to sell ICN to a private entity, but it's not going to end it. We'll still be able to use ICN, and that's what Chris and I was visiting about. It's just gonna be a private entity instead of a state-run department. Other than that, I've got all of them here and read just about, I know I read all of them, and that was just some highlights.
I had a meeting, with Hannah Douglas and Cole Bachman on the kitty cats, Wednesday. They give us the rundown there. They've got, 95 children. At the time. They've got, about, somewhere between 22 and 24, employees, 10 part-time and 12 full-time. They did fill that, they had a full-time that actually quit. They refilled it with 4 part-time employees, so, they've got, they feel that they're very comfortable as far as, their numbers. Their numbers can go as high as 152. But 95 seems to fit them and why they feel comfortable with them. Oh, and their cash flow looks well. Correct me if I'm wrong. Do we give them a 6,500 a year for the
Right there somewhere.
Let's pay for the loan.
Excuse me.
It's a loan payment.
Loan payment along with other it's like this hospital and
City,
and
and Dakota City throws some level to it, I think.
but other than that, I was at the ministerial association meeting Thursday. And they had a few just reports, financial, and Friday I was at the Board of Health meeting. They've talked about their new MRI coming in and their construction that they're still working on for the MRI. Other than that, that's all I've got for this week.
I think that's a huge investment for the hospital, but it's also going to save the people in the community a lot of traveling because you either get in on that mobile that comes anywhere from Saturday to Sunday.
I wouldn't bet.
I think it's a real plus for the community. I mean, that really, it really does.
Huge
I think we get a
investment.
huge grant for that also.
Yeah. But just the MRI, I think probably is 1.3 million. But so, that's quite and then that's plus their construction, they're talking, so it's quite a project.
Where's it gonna be then?
Excuse me?
Where's it gonna be? North side?
North.
Yep.
So,
They're running out of room out there.
Where the mobile usually sets, I imagine that's where they were going to put it someplace in that neighborhood.
I had on some other surgical realms here at the same time, but other than that, that's about it.
All right, well, I stopped down to City Hall just to listen in on their meeting. Tuesday, I think it was. Yep. And then Thursday, like I said, visited with John about stuff. And that's about it.
What's that other city was?
So
Thursday.
Yeah, I know I did go over here and watch the Gundar building sell. Just in case it went real low, but it didn't.
What was the name? How did it go?
I think it's on 260 or 265. I think like 50,000 for the contents, so.
I went to a couple of guys.
Yeah, local people, so that was good.
All right, Wednesday, I reached out to Mike Galloway. And he sent me back a message, so he did get a message to me I found out he's in Africa for 2 weeks, so if you're looking for him, he's over there on a safari, not shooting animals, but taking pictures of animals, so that's what this Jeff Edger, who called, we visited on Wednesday. In reference to, the recorder, and I guess that was conversation that, we talked about for 15 or 20 minutes, and I've also been,
Thank you.
reached out to, or I've been called numerous times about somebody out west here that isn't happy with, some cow got loose and got on his ground and,
Good thing he's got good fences.
well, that's the problem. He thinks there's a hole out there, so I said, well, the last I knew, we have 0 cows in Humboldt County that we own. So it's a private matter.
Yeah.
So, but 4 phone calls later, we just had to remember how we left it. So anyway, that was my week. Sorry. Anything else? Anything in the near future? We have 2 weeks from today is the Wright County, Humboldt County. Next week is that. 2 weeks from today is the conference board in here, right, with Linda? That's at 6 o'clock on the 9th. Yeah, I gotta remember to call and remind the school board that they're invited. Cause if they don't come to the meeting,
They don't get a
they
vote.
don't get a vote on the way approve it, so I will call and
You'll be gone, right?
find them. All right, anything else?
That was 6 o'clock, wasn't it?
Yeah. In this room, and hopefully all of the mayors from the other communities will be here.
Billy called me. That's no fine. He didn't know what the email was for, and probably need you to come down.
Yep, that means Linda's sent hers invitations out, so Susie, did you get one?
I did, thank you.
All right. Anything else? Trish, you're good? All right,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
we have a motion
I'll second.
in a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We're out at 24.